Hello everyone, it's me. Before we get started, let me just start by saying welcome, but also a little heads up. We had, well, how can I put it? Technical troubles. So if this particular episode sounds a little stilted, a little quiet, a little like we're asking each other questions a couple of times, that's because the gods of the internet and the gods of podcasting have conspired against us to royally fuck up my evening, which is why I'm talking to you right now at midnight 35 on Wednesday morning. So, sit back, listen, relax, or not, drive, I don't know, don't relax if you're driving, pay attention to the fucking road, I don't know, but do something, whatever you're doing, carry on doing it, but just listen to the podcast and know that's why it's even more shonky than usual. Right, play the jingle. So one day I hope we'll get a Hellboy sequel where he finally grows up to be Hellman, so he can take over the family's mayonnaise business. And
Jesus,
yeah, do not touch is one of the scariest things to read in Braille. And I'll leave it on that one. It sounds like a one. It sounds like a one. It sounds like a one. That one. So that's good. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog 197. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we'll see how everyone's week's been, or fortnight, because we've been off a couple of times, and partly my fault. And then if we've got nothing going on, we might answer another couple of questions, and then we'll move on to some feedback, and then we'll move on to this week's movie, which was going to be The Wicker Man. But if I'm perfectly honest, Jim's stunned silence at the end of the last episode gave me the fear that I'd be hexed in some fashion. So I backed out of that one. And we are indeed doing something different, which is Sightseers.
Do you know what? I've got an impression that it was a bit like you've got two versions of that film we were going to watch, and Jim's thinking. So let me get this straight. You want to wear the shit-filled underpants and not the crisp new, nicely cleaned underpants. Is that it?
And he would have been right. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I realised a bit too late that I'd made a terrible, terrible mistake and offended everyone all round. So anyway, yes, we won't be doing a watch of Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. We are in fact doing Sightseers. So
I heard someone say on an article this week, it's Nicolas Cage's worst film.
And that's quite a...
That is quite the claim, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Jim, don't threaten me with a good time, mate. I can still pull that pin. But anyway, so that's that. So we'll get to that soon enough. But first, let's find out how everyone's fortnight has been, and we will start with you, Jim. How's it been, sir?
Pretty rough. And, as I woke up after the last Black Dog and was sick to my stomach. And that wasn't just from looking at the news.
No. Oh.
No, I actually got a very bad dose of the flu. Teresa had come down with it kind of at the weekend, and then it really just mowed me over the end of week before last. I can't tell you what happened that week much, really, because most of it I was spent asleep or sweating or coughing or being very tired from being able to sleep from sweating and coughing.
Oh, right.
And I've still got it now, but it's kind of got off my chest. But actually, the head cold, which I got a fucking really annoying sinus pain I had for days at the back of my head. I've seen the doctor today, who was much used to a chocolate teacup. Basically said, "Oh, keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't clear up, come back with antibiotics." And it's kind of, actually, I've had this 6 days now. The antibiotics now would be nice, but no.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. So I'm slightly tetchy due to having the sensation of someone jabbing a knitting needle behind my right ear.
Oh, Jesus.
But other than that, to just have some positive news, I am sort of endeavouring to do on my own show a Christmas Advent calendar, charting Christmas horror on the big screen.
Oh, nice.
Which, as you know, that did sort of put me on collision course with Terrifier 3. So I have watched all of them now.
Oh my God.
And I'm still punch drunk. Terrifier 2 is like Mad Max. What Mad Max is what the Road Warrior is to Mad Max.
What?
It's like a huge, bigger, better, faster, more depraved. And Terrifier 3 is a Christmas film and has some unbelievably sick shit in that I am thoroughly ashamed of myself for laughing at like a dirty drain.
Okay.
But I was quite intrigued because, I mean, the star of the show isn't the gore effect. It is David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown.
Right.
And in like 2 and 3, he gets a chance to really show off his skills. And Art the Clown is like a proper clown, and he's fucking funny. Oh. He's like an evil Bugs Bunny, just literally clowning around, and it's unbelievably funny, which is a good contrast when he does something incredibly sick later on in the next scene. But I thought I'm quite intrigued by, because you can't really get any sense of the guy because he doesn't speak, he's under makeup. And I found this YouTube interview with him on a channel called Building Friendships.
Oh, right.
Which the premise is the host sits down with a big Lego set, the guest sits down with a Lego set, they do some Lego and have a chat.
Oh, that sounds wicked.
And it's all kind of like, it's also like low independent sort of filmmakers and that. And he's on there and he does a 50-minute interview and he is the most lovely man in the world. It is a lovely 50 minutes to watch.
Oh,
I thoroughly recommend that. If you need a lift, and particularly if you're seeing Terrifier, it's very hard to connect the two. So he's just such a nice man.
Oh.
And he loves his Lego as well. He's actually a genuine Lego fan. And but yeah, that's actually a really good interview, going all through his career, how he got where he was, and it's a very sort of positive story about you stick with what you believe in.
Yeah.
And lots of very good, funny stories as well. So yeah, Building Friendships, David Howard Thornton. Look that up. It is a lovely 50 minutes of your life.
That sounds great.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, nice. Oh, well, so it hasn't all been bad then.
No. We also watched Swearpool versus Fuckerine.
Oh, yeah.
Which I did give us a much needed sweary lift when we were both feeling pretty rotten, I must admit.
Right. Okay. So you dug it then? You mean?
Let's just go with this. How many fucks can they get in a Marvel movie? Go for it. Go for broke. Come on. Can you beat him, Bruges? Come on.
I watched that as well, and I really enjoyed it a second time. Go figure.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Cool. That sounds really good. I'm glad. That's what I'm going to say. Excellent. Anything else, sir?
I can't think of anything else right now, and that's probably enough.
That's perfectly fine. Don't worry. But Deadpool Wolverine was a thumbs up all round, was it?
Yes, yeah. That was a lot of fun. Just stupid, childish bullshit. Which is, at the time, that was exactly what we needed.
Nice. Fair enough. Ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. Anyway. Right. Cool. Well, then in which case we'll move on to you then, Elton. Sir, how's your fortnight been?
My fortnight.
Mmm.
There will now be a short intermission.
Albatross! 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 Course you don't get bloody wafers with it!
It's a
God,
mind
you
week.
don't know how.
No, Garrett,
No.
Garrett, you go. No, you,
No.
sir.
No.
No,
it's fine,
after
it's fine.
you.
No, you please.
No, after
Carry on.
you, sir.
No,
Is this
it's
going to
fine,
be like
it's
60 minutes I have to edit out where you two bicker?
No, you put the phone down.
fine. You put the phone down. You put the phone down. Go on.
Any of
Go
this.
on. I'm not putting the phone down. You put the phone
I'm not
down.
putting the phone down.
I'm not putting the phone down. I'm not putting it down at all. No.
Okay, we'll both put the
You
phone
can't
down
make
after
me.
3. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I haven't put the phone
You
down.
didn't
Put the phone down.
No,
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
put
put
the
the phone down. No. Well, you could make me.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
Oh, no.
no. Go on.
My week, yes?
Yeah.
So,
This week.
I am in the middle of Operation Indoor Rain at the moment.
Oh, sounds in.
I have seen the pictures.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
Operation Indoor Rain is because a couple of weeks ago I found like a little drip underneath the shower tray.
Right.
And it's like, right, okay, I'll save up some money and then put a new shower tray in.
Mm-hmm.
And my bodge had worked for quite some time and it was working well, and I was very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But then on, I think it was it Friday or Saturday morning, I just had a little pop my nose underneath it just to make sure it's all still holding up, and there it is, a tiny little drip. I'm like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this week off.
Right.
And I thought I was going to be sitting around in my pants playing PlayStation for like 5 days.
But no.
No, now I'm ripping out my shower. And it's going very well, actually, surprisingly. I got the new tray in today, all plumbed in, all ready to go. I just got to seal everything up, put all the doors and windows back on, and we should be good. Then I've got to make some sides because I had to elevate it. But yeah, it's going well. But man, they're heavy. So we've gone from like a plastic one, which was utter garbage, but it was what the house came with.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gone to like full on resin ones, which are like proper thick and really heavy, and they do not move. So I feel like I've upgraded ever so slightly, but it's going well so far. There has been no indoor rain just yet, but I'm waiting for that to happen.
What about chocolate rain?
No chocolate rain either.
What about purple rain? Purple rain.
No purple rain either yet.
Purple rain, no. Okay. You sure?
Nothing so far. So
Nothing so far.
it's going well, actually. I'm surprised I haven't electrocuted myself or anything yet.
You do know what podcast you're on, right? You do know what you've just done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
waiting for it to
Martha,
happen.
There are fated gods just waiting for you to admit to this sort of shit, and you are going to get absolutely clobbered.
I can hear.
I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Sheds on fire at the end of the garden. A man with his arse glued shut. All these moments gone like tears
Thankfully.
in the rain.
I'm still picking poppy bits out 5 years later. You know that.
Jesus Christ. All this talk of rain, I'm just thinking of Orange Juice Jones now. I've got that tune playing in my head.
What the hell is that?
Well,
Deep
I
cut.
saw you and
Yes.
him walking in the rain. That
Yeah.
one.
Right. Okay.
He stops and he tells a story about halfway through the track. He just starts fucking talking through it. Yeah, and I saw you and your man walking down the street, and I was going to jam you fat blast the both of you, but then I thought, no, I won't. I'll just stalk you
Do
instead.
something else.
Yes.
Well, anyway, yes. His diversion away from Orange Juice Jones and his mad talking from the 1980s. What else, Elton? It's all going swimmingly. That's probably the wrong word to use.
It's all working well, which is really good. And surprisingly, it's bloody heavy. It was hard work today, moving it into position and getting it all level and everything like that. But you know, when you're waiting for something to go wrong,
Yes.
I'm waiting for that to happen, but it hasn't happened just yet. So don't jinx me or anything like that, please.
It's too late now. You've told the audience, and you've said it on this podcast, which is quite possibly the most cursed podcast known to man. So
Could be, yeah.
you are doomed now. That is it.
Yeah. But apart from that, yeah, pretty good. Happy with it. All going well.
That's good.
And the only other news is the same thing that we all have as well. So I will leave it for someone else to bring that up.
You can start if you want.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. In which case, we look forward to your inevitable house insurance claim when you get in the shower. Godspeed, my friend.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. I'm so sorry.
Turn on the pumps.
Imperial vessel, halt the flow of time. Anyway, yes, right. So, then in which case we'll move on to you now. How's your week been?
Yes. Bit of a mixed bag this week.
Oh yeah.
Shall I mention the thing that myself and yourself and Elton kind of went to?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, it started off this week quite well. Went to Drinks in London for Andy Palacides, Amber Palacides, and it was Anne Marie, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, their birthdays. What was the name of the bloody pub we went to? That one by the River Thames.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Dog,
indeed.
Dog something.
The dog something. That's it. Yeah, that pub, the dog something.
The dog thing.
Yeah, the dog something.
I can have a look, and I will let you know. Hang on a second. I know exactly where it is on Google Maps.
You do?
Yep. Blackfriars Bridge.
That's
all
the
I've got
one.
to do is I just got to find Blackfriars Bridge now, though. But I found the river, so we're all good.
That was a hard thing to do.
That's the hard part. Once you found the river running through the middle of the main city,
just follow it with your finger.
Yeah, you're off to the
Avoid the Elizabethan line.
Shut up, you.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Avoid the Elizabethan line because you know people over there are they've got issues.
They're a bit rough.
Indeed,
A bit rough. yeah. They're yeah. Have we found it yet, Elton?
You got it?
Don't tell me that you're still looking down the map.
No, Doggett's coat and badge. Okay, Doggett's.
Yeah.
I think it was called.
That's the one.
Badge.
Yeah, and you have to wonder how they name some of these pubs. But it's just like, should we just put a bunch of words in a fucking sack and just grab some at random?
Yeah.
You know, fucking work for David Bowie. So yeah, let's just do that. Let's just
but Bowie didn't run a pub, did he?
Actually, no, he had a tombola as well. So yeah,
you know,
that's it.
What
yes.
would you like to drink?
I'd like a pint of cider, please. The milkshake. What about the milkshake? The milkshake with power.
Would you like some nuts with that?
This is Guinness Control to down the pub. The pumps are not fully charged. And the beer's coming out in the most peculiar way. Anyway.
And the crisp tastes very different today.
So here am I floating around the beer nuts. Anyway.
Yes. So
I'm off to change the barrel.
I was walking around the dark bar when I heard footsteps behind me.
Can I be honest about David Bowie?
Yes.
You know the impressions that we do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get them. I don't understand it.
What do you mean?
Well,
He doesn't sound like that to me at all.
That's because we're shit at impressions. I thought you'd get it right.
Yeah, that's the reason for that.
But everyone
Where's
does that,
my
and I don't
sausage
get it. I don't
answer?
hear it.
Hello, spaceman. You want something like that, don't you? You want a boo.
I don't
But
hear it.
really, he talks us a bit more like that, really.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was saying to Mick Jagger, shouldn't you fucking retire, you silly old cunt. and he laughed at me.
Yeah. And then he went off and we did dancing in the street. It was quite embarrassing. Yeah, he comes from a school around my way, actually. Around
Bromley boy.
does he?
Yeah, he's a Bromley boy. He's from Burnt Ash Lane.
Oh, of course he is. Yes, because his face is painted down by the toilets in the glades. It does a fitting tribute to a fucking superstar there. Yeah.
Musical
He's-
legend
he's-
guarding the toilets forevermore.
That's right.
He made it.
Down by the toilets in the glades. There we go.
Down by the toilets in the glades. Whoa. Jam, that's the jam. Anyway, go on then. So you went to this pub that we still haven't
Yes.
got to the bottom of.
No. But what I mean, I remember when we used to go out to pubs. We used to go and we just buy rounds and stuff like this. And it's amazing these days how there's this unspoken agreement these days with everyone that nobody buys a round.
No,
That's
no
it.
more.
Nobody,
No more.
because we all understand what that costs us, and that's like a remortgage, I think, of any property that we happen to be living in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, indeed.
It was insane.
But all in all, good evening, very good evening. So that was was really good. Work-wise, yeah, we've had the AGM just happen in work, which takes about. Sorry,
this was one of the reasons we weren't here last week.
Indeed, because there was a lot of getting things ready and me doing late nights just to make sure everything was up and ready and done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the sort of event that it takes 3 months to organise. You're getting the kit in, all the computer gear, all the extras, webcams and headsets and stuff like this, all getting it sorted. And I even came in on a working from home day just to wire up the studio that they've got there, like for all the tables and everything like this, trying to make it as invisible wiring as possible. Did a wonderful job, as everybody told me. So did all that, put all that effort in. Okay. So it comes to the final. I mean, there's always more pressure on the build up, and then on the day itself, normally it's fine, right? It happens at around about 2:30 in the afternoon and ends around about 4 o'clock, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. But it's quite important to the company where they're, sort of like placing out their future and where things are going to go.
Yes.
So it gets to the day of the AGM, and we're all sitting there, and all the sort of like the board are in the studio, and they're doing they're about to do their broadcast.
Yep.
And they go in, the door shut.
Yep.
And they spark it up, and what all I can imagine is this is what happens. They go, "Welcome to the AGM," and as they say that, all of a sudden, all the fucking power in the building goes out.
Nice.
Just everything goes off. Right now, I'm sitting there, and the minute the lights go off, I can feel the temperature suddenly rise in the office, and it's like, oh, this isn't somebody just like fucking switching the lights off at all. This is something else. This is something major. And indeed, it's not only our building, but it's like Charing Cross lost power to the ticket machines.
Oh, blimey.
So it's like a fucking area thing. And it's like, how well timed was this? So anyway.
So you took the screwdriver out of the box.
Indeed. So it's like they're still carrying on because the battery backup kicks in, right? So all the emergency power comes on. And apparently it was so quick that it wasn't really noticed by anybody sort of like, you know, tuning in, listening to it. And it's quite a lot of people that listen in on it. And so they're carrying on in the room with this while we're going around trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. You know, is it somebody in here that's dropped something in somewhere? Is it somebody in the building that's done something?
Yep.
And they're carrying on with their broadcast. And then all of a sudden, the management in the building set off the fire alarms to get everybody out. Right? So we're outside. They set off the fire alarms, right? Because there was a bit of a disagreement. Let's just say that. And they're like, right, that's it. We want everybody out. We want everybody out of it. And there's no real need to get anybody out of the building at all, right? There's no real emergency. Nobody's in danger of dying or anything like this. It's just the power's gone off and all the emergencies have kicked in. So it's not like we're sitting there in total darkness all the time. We've got low-level light and everything. So it's kind of fine. You know, you can carry on. We had something like, I think it was like 22 hours worth of power.
Right.
So, you know, this thing is covered. But all of a sudden, the fire alarms have gone off. And it's like, you've got a voice saying, please evacuate the building. And I'm thinking Alien. You know, it's like you've got 10 minutes until the fucking thing explodes. Fuck off. You've got 10 minutes till the thing explodes. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, oh, Christ away, they're probably picking this up in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, the microphones on the headsets were so good, the directional mics, that they didn't actually take in the fire alarms at all. So I'm thinking, oh, they must be quite shooting. It must be just as loud in there as out here. I was wrong. I got told this morning by one of the guys that was in there, it was like a fucking echo chamber in there. The volume apparently in the studio was a lot louder than what was outside.
Right.
So you had all these people shouting to just try and get the thing done. But yeah, apparently they couldn't actually pick anything up, so it actually went really well. It just sounded like people got quite aggressive during the meeting. But yeah, so it's like fucking hell. So I thought I was only going to have one really early day, which was the day before, which was the day that this thing actually happened. I had to come in the next day to try and make sure that everything had powered back up again.
Yeah,
because normally screens go and stuff like this. So fortunately, very little in the way of casualties there. But yeah, it's just of all the times for the power to go out, it was then, you know. But fortunately, yeah, it went well. So I think they were genuinely happy with everything. So that was, you know, that was pretty cool. Right, so that's the most amount of stress I've had this week. So I'm glad that's over and done with, and so is everyone else for another year, especially after what's happened. So let's see, what else have I done this week? I did watch a thing on Amazon, a new TV show.
Okay.
Called Nautilus.
Oh. I
don't know if anybody's seen it.
I saw the trailer of it, and that was enough for me.
Right, okay. Well, I've watched the entire thing, and it stars a guy called Shazad Latif. Now, if anybody doesn't know who Shazad Latif is, because I think he's changed his name again recently, I'll just say this. Hello, Stephen, this is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's Clem Fandango. So this is now Clem Fandango steals a submarine. Okay? That's what this is. Clem Fandango steals a submarine. It's like, you know, they're doing the sonar thing. It's like, hello, people above who are trying to depth charge us. Can you hear me? This is Clem Fandango. Yes, we can hear you, Clem Fandango. So there we go. But it's not bad. It's okay. It's all right. It's for anybody who hasn't worked it out, it is the story of how Captain Nemo came to be, shall we say. It's a bit on the steam. This is because, I mean, I'm disappointed he didn't try and do a James Mason impression. Mr. Yes, it's a Nautilus. You'll be chucked overboard. We're on a fucking submarine. You'll be shoved out an airlock.
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised with all these prequels, they don't all follow the Han Solo route now and just go, so you're the captain of this ship. Can you remember your name? No, I can't actually. Right. Well, were you watching Finding Nemo? That'll do. You're Nemo.
No, it's not like that at all. He names himself Nemo. Right, that's it. You do find out his name is something else, and there is a reason why he's doing what he's doing. Apart from being, sorry,
is it Woody? I mean, just follow the Disney route.
No, it's nothing like that at all. Not like that at all. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a bit cliche in places, and they always seem to come a cropper on something before the end of the episode, and they do have a bit of a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. I've watched up to the end of the first season. The very last episode, the resolution is a bit like, so let me get this straight. You just did this little thing here, and that's brought the enemy down. That's it. Okay.
Right.
Fine.
And you've seen, and you've watched. So you watched all of them, and it's ended on a cliffhanger.
No, it's not ended on a cliffhanger. It does do that thing of they resolve the issue, they beat the bad guys, but now there's this other thing that they have to go and do.
Well, they won't be doing it because it got cancelled.
Yes, I did look up to see if there was a season 2. So yeah, so there won't be any of that. Yeah. So we won't see him get to transform into James Mason.
No.
At all.
No.
Or Stephen Toast.
Yeah, though, why didn't they have Matt Berry in the lead fucking role for this? He's got the right voice for it. I would have. Oh man. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I just saw the trailer for it and I just thought, nah. Not for me.
Nah. I don't think it's going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Well, I don't think it was anybody's cup of tea. They cancelled it.
Well, obviously, I think they cancelled it just as they cancelled it and then they announced it. From what I'm reading.
What?
Yeah,
they
cancelled it and then they announced the show they released it just as they cancelled it.
Oh right, okay, fair enough.
Thanks, right off.
Yeah,
that's what this is. This is it.
Yep, that was exactly my thought.
Indeed. I'm not sure what exact year it's supposed to take place. I think it's like 1879 or something like this. But it's amazing how much stuff I'm looking at. I'm thinking, did they actually have sonar back then? I don't think they did somehow. I could be wrong. But they seem to have it in this timeline. So, okay. If you say so, yes. I think there's one or two bits in it, where they go, this person's had a heart attack. I've got this new method of trying to bring them back to life. It's called CRP. I think I might need to change those letters. It's kind of that kind of thing you get in this. Yes, I've worked out a thing to do with this. Yes. So it's okay. It's a you want something to watch, put in the background, then go for it. That's it.
That's it, is it?
That's it. Yes, just that. Okay. That's okay. Slowly putting that back. Okay, moving away from that. I can't remember if I've actually done anything else this week. I don't think there's anything else really of note.
No, that's good.
Oh, What
That was
the
me.
fuck was
What
that?
was that?
What the fuck was that? That was me. Hold on. What the
That's
hell?
the Nautilus. The Nautilus is pulling in.
Surfacing.
Yes.
What on earth was that coming through? How was that coming through? How are you hearing that?
I have no idea. Was that a Windows you fucked up?
Yeah,
noise?
pretty much. That was a Windows
Ah.
you fuck up. How did that even come through? Oh well. Well, it's back to
Wasn't a little paperclip come up and go, I see you're trying to do a fuck up. Would you like me to make a loud noise for you?
I can see you're fucking things up. Would you like? Yeah. Oh, good lord. All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just pressing buttons. I'm pressing buttons. It's not working. God, this is what happens if you don't do the bloody podcast for like 3 weeks in a row. And then all of a sudden it's like, Jesus, it's all gone wrong. Wheels are falling off. Buttons aren't working. Well, that's curious. Right. Anyway, you there, Elton? Is Elton gone?
I think that was what it was. That was a warning.
It was Elton Surfer submerging.
Yep.
Jesus.
That was Elton setting off the self-destruct system.
Right. Well, it's all going well so far, isn't it? It's really it's flying along. Oh
Yep.
my God. I'm going to pause it because what's going on here? Oh, here we go.
There will now be a short intermission.
Albatross! 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 Course you don't get bloody wafers with it!
Okay, so in case you hadn't guessed, we're having all sorts of technical issues today. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm in the microphone now. Hello. We're just going to carry on. I'm fed up editing. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to just put it all together and put a couple of jingles over the top to patch over
It'll
the
all be fine.
It won't be fine, Jim. It's all gone wrong.
See what happens when we have a week off? This is the problem. We forget how to drive.
I tell you, I blame America. That's my that's my default point now.
Yeah, they've got a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
My advice: you want anything, buy it now.
Yeah.
Just fuck it. Doesn't matter.
You know what you did. You know what you did. You just sit in the corner and think about it. Right. Anyway, my week, he said, trying to desperately get back on track. My week was twofold. Firstly, I was off because Carol had a slight health scare, which we won't go into right now, but it was a panic moment. So that was, but everything's fine now. So that's the main thing. And then what else? I've been working on. I don't want to talk too much about work because some people who I work with listen to this now, but what I will say is when you are making and editing a video, one of the things you need to do feedback. So you sort of you make a bit, you do a bit, and you send it off, and then it goes out, and people look at it, and they come back with some notes about things they like and things they don't like. So you go, right, cool, lovely. When you get feedback that says you can't change the length of the music, okay, absolutely no problem. You can't change the tempo of the music because we like the music. Okay, no problem. And then they say the footage you're cutting to the music is a little slow. We need to get more stuff into the video. Oh, absolutely no problem. Just make the cuts quicker. That's absolutely no problem. But then when the next piece of feedback, which is also accompanying the make everything quicker, is, and we need to spend longer reading the captions for the things you're cutting.
This is a Venn diagram, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question that immediately makes you wonder: did I put down on my CV that I was a fucking Time Lord? Because
this Venn diagram looks like Timmy Malek's glasses, doesn't it?
It does. If you want the footage, let's just say, for example, you had a footage of a house, and that cut was like literally 2 seconds, and they want it to be 1 second, but the caption that comes up that says "a house," last 2 seconds, right? They want the caption to last longer, but the footage of the house, for example, to be half the time. I don't quite know how I fold time, space, and reality to make that work.
And now you have a picture of a dog with a house written underneath it.
Exactly that. And it's like, what do you want? And then they say, oh, we want some footage from from a presentation we did. Okay, that's lovely. We've got 5 speakers and they're all very prestigious. Can we have a shot of each one of them? Okay, fine. We don't obviously want this to be a flicker book. It's got to be longer than a second, isn't it? Yes. Brilliant. So 5 people in a row with their names, they go, and then the feedback comes back and it goes, actually, we probably don't need to see them, but we could do with the captions. And it's like, well, what is the footage going? What's the footage going underneath it? We'll just have a picture of them, sitting at the panel table. Oh, okay, no problems. But we don't need the captions for these people. Are they that famous? I mean, it's just been contradiction after contradiction for the last 3 days. It's just been like, we want it longer but shorter.
Just give them what they want.
Brighter, darker.
Just give them what they want. What you do is you cut down the video sequences, right? Okay, but you keep the length that the actual captions stay on screen as exactly as they've said. So it now starts bleeding into other. You could get some real comedy out of this.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's got. I mean, one of the bits is like, and then there's a whole thing that says, oh, we gotta show all the projects that we've won. And it's like, brilliant. Okay, give me the footage of the projects. We don't have it. Right. What am I supposed to do with that then? Just put in some captions telling all the projects we're doing. Okay, right, fine, cool, but don't leave them hanging around too long. So you want the captions fast? Oh, right, okay. You want the captions to be fast. You want to be slow. You want the footage to be fast. But you don't have any footage to show. You want things to be slow, but you want them to be quicker. And you can't. And you want more stuff crammed into the same amount of time. We've got 12 segments. Right, okay, lovely. 12 segments in a 2-minute and 30-second track. Brilliant, no worries. But now you want 16 segments, and they've all got to fit in that 2-minute track. So everything's got to be faster anyway to fit all this shit in. Yeah, that's right. And at the end, we want to have an engagement survey at the end of it. It's like, what? What? People are going to fill it in, write it down. It's going to come up like a question. It's going to be like one of those American sitcoms where the fucking credits just roll past at a speed to give you an epileptic fit. But yeah. So I've been dealing with that for a couple of days. That's been fun. It's like getting a fucking feedback from Bizarro World. It's like, hold on. This is Zatanna sending me fucking messages. Am I supposed to read this backwards or something? What is going on here? So yeah, that's been fun. On another note, I've been watching the second season of The Old Man on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Has anyone seen this?
No.
No.
It's not bad actually. It's Jeff Bridges, and essentially he's a ex-operative for the CIA who went native in Afghanistan back in the 80s. And the long and the short of it is he went native, and he sort of ran back to America with a local warlord's wife and child. And jump forward like 20, 30 years.
Made kind of a mistake by doing that, didn't he?
Yeah, it was, but there's more to it than that. And it jumped forward like 20, 30 years, and now the warlord has kind of learnt of his existence and of his daughter's existence still. And and then they start, and this warlord starts pulling the strings to try and hunt down poor old Jeff Jeff Bridges, who's now this crotchety sort of 80-year-old man. And yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you about it, because that was the first season. But the second season just came out, and we binged the hell out of that, and it was like, oh, it's good. It's good. It's good old espionage type stuff with lots of kind of old man action, Jerry action. If you like
Reaction.
Jerry action, it's right up your. So it's got all that going on. Yeah, so that was different. Yeah, but it's worth a look. It's on Disney Plus. It's got John Lithgow in it as well, and a few other character actors you probably recognise as soon as you see him. You'll be like, "Oh, that's so and so from that thing." I can't remember. Other than that, I have been playing Dragon Age Veilguard, which I won't bore people to death with, but oh my god, it's good. I'm digging it. My character, even though my daughter, it's got a character creator, and my daughter looked at it because she's got her own copy of it, and she's made this like perfect version of herself in the game, and I'm playing it, and I've made one, and Katie came in, looked at it, and she said, it looks like an ex-boy band member who's gone back into painting and decorating.
17, basically.
He's like, yeah, it is. It's like he's 17. He's got a beard and all this sort of thing, but it's like, nah, he's a little too pretty boy. He looks like he should be down the pub every week. It's just like, nah, I've made a mistake there. He's not the hero. But the problem is there's like this sort of 40, 50-year-old voice coming out of it going, oh, I can help. I can come and do things. I can beat this dragon up and all this sort of thing. And you sort of you're looking at this guy, you're like 20 with a stuck-on beard. What's going on here? So anyway, that's going on. And that's about it, really. I mean, yeah, work, and this stupid Christmas video. And oh, and I've been enjoying Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky. Black Dog's on Blue Sky, but I don't think Black Dog's long for the world on Blue Sky because I just can't keep two going. So I'm just going to probably just let that quietly go fallow. But yeah, and I've been doing Xenovember, which is a
very
draw.
good it's been too.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So it's been nice sitting there doing little sketches. Oh, that's right, because one of Carol's friends, who's a bit of a tech nerd, he just bought himself a new iPad, and then decided, I don't need my other one, and he just sent it to Carol, and so I've now got an iPad Pro.
Oh,
nice.
Lovely.
And pen. So, yeah.
And what is the name of this friend?
Yeah.
I cannot say, because if I say, you will pester him. But yeah, no. Well, his first name is Chris. It will make no difference after that. But yes, so Chris, yeah, sent he does this now and again. He just goes, "Oh, I've upgraded the X, Y, and Z piece of tech. Do you want it?" And yeah, it's like, "Oh, right." And then it suddenly turned up, and it was like a 12-inch iPad Pro, and I'm like, "Oh my lord!" It's like, yes, pen, everything, woohoo! So yeah. So I was very pleased with that. So it's been Christmas Day for me. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing was, which I missed from last week or the previous week, was went to see David Tennant in Macbeth for a bit of culture. There you go.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, very good. It's very, very cool, and it's probably the first time I've watched Shakespeare and actually understood it. It does have the hell they's and hey nonny nons and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, David Tennant, and it's David Tennant and like five other actors, and there's like this. It's on a completely blank stage, and behind him is this wall of glass, which is where the orchestra is, and when people show up as ghosts and witches and whatnot, they are behind the glass. But it's really good. It was really good, and the weirdest bit is that you have to wear headphones. So you're sitting in a theater, and you get this binaural effect going on where you can hear the actors talking, obviously, and saying their pieces. But when the witches talk, you never see the witches, and they talk from behind your head. in your
Oh,
ear.
wow.
Oh, cool.
And it's really quite something. It's one of those things where you're sitting there and you go, oh, hang on. And it's like, when will we meet again? And it's kind of all going around your head and you're like, oh my God, blimey. It literally sounds like it's right behind your head. And I really enjoyed it. Very good. Well worth looking for if you can get it. Obviously the price of the tickets are ridiculous, but that's why we were up in the gods. But it's actually quite good. I would definitely recommend it if you want to check it out. That was definitely worth a look. And we'll leave it there. And before we go, well, I was going to say, have we got any feedback? But I think we did it all for Bubba Hotep last time because I've lost track of life and everything on the Black Dog. I've completely lost my place, position, and everything. And I know Darren's going to say about his bloody spreadsheet. Yes, I know. I know.
Yes.
No, but you fucking. But anyway, so we've done I think we've done the feedback for Bubba Hotep. So I apologize if we haven't, and if we haven't, then I apologize. But we'll have to start clean slate. If we haven't, and I haven't read your stuff out, just ping me a message on the Facebook group, and we'll read it all out next week. So what we will do though is we will answer a question or two. Hold on.
Questions.
Yes, there are. There are more questions and answers. Like, how the fuck are we still doing this podcast and being as incompetent as we are? So, anyway, I was going to say, here's one question. Glenn Manners would like. Oh, no. Have we answered this one? Oh, yes, we have answered that one. So, there you go. Let's get past that one. See, it's going well. Just Jesus. It's gone tits up. Okay, Thomas McCamberley, first time feedbacker Tom McCamberley said, what's the furthest point north you've ever been? And the first bit of science fiction or horror you've ever watched on TV?
Oh, good Lord.
There you go.
Furthest north. Hang on a second. Back to Google Maps. Let's work it out.
Yeah.
Furthest north I've been was probably flying to the US, where you actually fly up and skirt kind of a Newfoundland and then go down past Canada, New York, and down the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
So I've been on one of those flights through the furthest north I've been.
Okay.
Let's have a look at a world map.
Stockton-on-Tees.
Hold on, I'm trying to look up what's further north.
That's south of me. That's not even that.
No.
That's Trading Wheels north.
Yeah, that is north. Hold on. Which is the furthest north?
So I flew to Northern Ireland. I can't remember where though.
Okay.
But then drove down. So I think Stockton-on-Tees. Oh my God, Stockton-on-Tees, the furthest north I've ever been.
You've never been to Scotland?
I've never been to Scotland. I'd love to go to Scotland.
Okay. Well, Scotland is lovely. I will admit that. I think it's well worth doing. The NC 500, if you can do it, mate, go for it.
Cool.
Okay, I can tell you mine after a bit of googling. Thank you, Google AI. The furthest I've been is the Orkney Islands, which is north of Scotland, and apparently is slightly further north than New York. So there you go on the latitude, longitude thing. So there you go, Orkney Islands. That's as far north as I've been. But yeah, hopefully I'll end up going to Canada pretty soon. So we'll see about that. So I can revisit this question. What about you, Dal?
Well, I was going to say America, but I think it might actually be Denmark.
Is Denmark further north than America?
Yeah, looking on the map, it's by the looks of it. If I'm looking at this right, then yeah, Denmark is actually level with Canada on the world map.
Okay, yeah, Denmark is further north than New York. Yes, there you go.
It is. But is it further north than Glasgow? That's the thing.
Hold on, I will tell you. My friendly AI will help me here. Glasgow is further north than Denmark. There you go.
In that case, Glasgow. Glasgow is further north than the US.
There you go. So yes, there you go. Glasgow is your furthest north. So
That's right. Yep.
What did you say, Jim, when you skirted the sort of north?
Newfoundland, and
yeah,
because when you fly from the north of England, you have to like fly up, and then sort of nip sort of below Iceland, down Newfoundland, down Canada, down New York, and then you go down the eastern seaboard of the US.
Oh right, okay, yeah, cool.
You only fly back across the ocean on the way back because of the way the winds work.
Yeah. I was going to say when you go to New York, you do skirt and like New England and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting question.
I don't know if you can count that though, unless you land. I guess. Yeah, I suppose it does.
Well, it's the first north I've been. Didn't hang around, but I was there for a good few hours, an hour or so on the latitude.
He went there.
There you go. I suppose Greenland then, in which case. I suppose if you count it that way. And yours is Stockton on Tees, Elton.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay. We should have a Patreon to get you to go north. Like proper
further north than Stockton.
Yeah, north than Stockton. Like Watford or something like that. Anyway, and the second part of his question was, what was the first bit of science fiction or horror that you watched on TV?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Don't know. Probably Star Trek, I think. I can't. Yeah, probably. Or it might have been a Hammer horror.
Okay.
Because I was very much into that when I was younger. So I remember having like magazines with like Vincent Price and bloody Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it. I always remember that picture of Christopher Lee when he's Dracula with the red, like the eyes full of blood. Yeah. It's that one when I think he's on his last legs. He might have been fucking staked or something, but yeah, it was like a copy of Fangoria, I think, or something like that I had.
Yeah, but you didn't see it on TV, though, did you?
Well, would have done, yeah, on BBC.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I think it's like, that would have been... Yeah, because it would have been 79, right about then, 78, 79 when I probably saw it. And those were at the beginning of the 70s, late 60s. So, yeah, it's probably a Hammer horror of some kind that I've probably watched. But science fiction-wise, it's either Star Trek or Space 1999, I think, something like that. I could be wrong completely.
Okay.
Yeah, it could, but it's that sort of ballpark.
You got to forgive us, Tom, because I mean, all of us have a combined age of about 203.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago. Elton?
Could be Fireball XL fucking 5 for all I know. I don't know.
Elton?
It's probably either a collection of Star Wars or Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica or something like that, like the originals.
Fair enough. Jim?
It'd probably science fiction. It'd be either Doctor Who or Thunderbirds. I've got a very fuzzy memory of seeing both when very, very little. And I know quite early on I had a Thunderbird one when I was like probably 1 or 2 at Christmas.
Wow, yeah.
First horror, though, is kind of not including scary TV, of which there was lots when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Probably the first proper so-called horror movie was probably Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein or King Kong versus Godzilla, which in Britain we didn't generally show horror films until late at night, even creaky old ones. but occasionally you get a sillier one, just inappropriately scheduled, shall we say, by people who didn't care and Saturday morning TV in the summer.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I've got to say Star Trek, for sure, because there is a picture of me aged 4 or 5, and I was. This is embarrassing, and I'm not going to find the photo, even though I know exactly where it is. That I wanted to be one of, when I was 4 or 5. I kept telling my grandparents that the only thing I wanted to be was either an astronaut or a bus conductor. At which point, they bought me a bus conductor's uniform, and there's a picture of me in a bus conductor's uniform handing out tickets.
However, is it a Starfleet bus conductor's uniform by any chance?
Oh yeah. Starfleet, Star Trek conductor. That's the new show. That's the one I've been working on for years. No, and and the only other thing I had in that picture of me as a bus conductor is what I guess scale wise, I guess was probably about a 1 or 2 foot long Airfix model of the old classic Enterprise, which I was flying around in the right way, so I obviously knew what it was. So I imagine that around about 5 I would have done that. Would have been my thing. Star Trek for sure, Thunderbirds for sure, and the only other thing I would say is I probably would have watched some of the old stuff that used to be on BBC Two at 6 o'clock. So things like Invaders from Mars, Twilight Zone, the H.G. Wells adaptations, the George Powell ones, all that stuff they used to have. So there used to be the War of the Worlds, there was the Time Machine, that kind of stuff. I was all into that.
Tomorrow People as well.
Oh, the Tomorrow People.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, man, there's this fucking Sky. Chocky, yep. Oh man, there's all that kind of stuff. Blake 7, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was that. For horror, I know for a fact that the first proper horror I watched. I mean, and I say this in terms of like Hammer horror films. To me, at the time, were not proper horror because they were silly. So Zoltan, Hound of Dracula 1970 something, whatever it was. Dracula 70 something AD.
72.
72, that's it. All of those ones we used to catch on Betamax because my parents used to be crap at setting the timer, and it used to just roll. The tape used to just roll and record whatever was on BBC One at like midnight. So I saw loads and loads and loads of those kind of things, but the first proper horror, I mean, and I'm not talking about Alien either, was actually Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which again was one of those kind of parents just grabbing a Betamax from the video shop and just sticking it on, and we're all sitting there. There's like 8 of us in the house because we were the only ones who had a Betamax in the street. And then my parents going, look what we got they show you anything, that you could do any old film, look at this. And then we got this, and we watched it. I absolutely loved it, Dawn of the Dead, but it was the uncut version, so there was proper biting and tearing and all sorts of stuff. That was traumatizing. I'll be honest with you. It was a pirate as well. So it was like right when it came out. I don't even know when that came out. When did that come out, Dawn of the Dead?
78.
Yeah, I was going to say.
78, 79.
Yeah, 78. Yeah, so Dawn of the Dead and Jaws and was it? And then Alien were all in quick succession on Betamax for me.
Day of the Triffids as well for me.
Oh God, Day of the Triffids. What was the other one? Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Philip Kaufman one with
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah,
and Leonard Nimoy.
Oh God, yeah,
that's a good one.
Quatermass as well. The The
John
colour one.
Mills.
John
Yeah.
Mills. Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
that sitting on my shelf over there, actually. Jesus, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Right, that's that. I think we've spent a long time on that one question. So if anybody's got any other questions, by all means, throw them up, and we will get to them at some point. I will go through and try and check off a few more of these. But anyway, we will leave it with Chris Johnson's question. Given that God is infinite and the universe is also infinite, would you like a toasted tea cake?
Oh, yeah, I'd love one.
Yep, one would go down nicely right now, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, and that's that. So we'll leave that there. So leave any questions you like on the Facebook group, and you'll see pinned to the top asking for trouble thread. Just go on there, leave a question, and we'll answer it at some point. Right, we're going to call it a day for the opening segment of this disaster of a podcast, and we'll be back to check out the wonderful sights of National Trust Land as we review Sightseers. Roll the jingle. Right, so Sightseers is a 2012 British black comedy film directed by Ben Wheatley, who I think we've done films of before, such as In the Earth and Free Fire. I think we've done
Kill List.
That was yep, we've done those. And it's written and written by and starring Alice Lowe, who most people will probably only know from Garth Marenghi's Dark Place and or Horrible Histories, and Steve Oram.
I think she was in Look Here as well. She might have been in that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, let's put it this way. She's one of those people who you go, oh, it's her. But she's very cool and she's very funny. But anyway, and it tells the story of a young couple on a camping trip around England. And that's all you need to know. We'll leave it there. It was produced by was it Edgar Wright and Naira Park, and and so it has lots of them involved in there, and it was produced also by the production company Film 4 and Studio Canal, and it had a budget which it isn't listed. Actually, there is no budget listed, but we do have a box office. So how much do we think it made at the box office, Elton?
Do I nick the easy one? I might nick the easy one. One stolen dog and a giant novelty pencil.
Lovely. What about you then, Dal?
I say it made 20 manipulative old women.
Very good.
Okie dokie. Jim?
I say it made 2 million unpleasant instants behind the stones to throw them off the scent.
Well, you're all wrong, because what it actually earned was one pair of crocheted knitted crotchless pants.
Oh, sexy.
Sexy.
Is it getting warm in here, or is it just me?
No, actually it made $2.1 million, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I don't think it had a very big budget. But there's nothing to tell me what the budget actually was, so we'll just have to go with that. Mom. Chris. Chris. Chris.
You all right?
Chris. Yes. Chris. Anyway, right. Well, we'll get to the actual meat and potatoes of talking about this, or just quoting it over and over But before we in the spoiler zone, but before we do that, obviously let's go round the table with the non-spoiler zone section. And it was my pick, so I'll go last. But we'll start with Jim. No, actually, Jim, you've seen it before, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Okay, so you'll go second to last. Darren.
I've seen it before as well.
All right, then Elton.
Yes.
Go for it.
I haven't seen this before.
Congratulations, you get to go first. What did you think of Sightseers?
Okay, I didn't know what I was getting into when I saw this, and when you showed the poster to us, I thought that dog was AI generated. I was really confused. It looked so weird. But once I got into it, I flipping loved this. Absolutely adored this. This is right up my street. I was a bit apprehensive in the first 10, 15 minutes, I suppose. I was like, am I enjoying it? I don't know if I'm enjoying this. Am I getting this? And then all of a sudden, it just bang. I was there. I loved this. This is great. This is a lovely little hidden gem. And I'm so glad I've seen this.
Brilliant. Okay, then we'll move up the tree of who's seen it and who hasn't. We'll go. Jim. Why not you, Jim? Go on.
Yes. Well, this is God, I've seen this film quite a few times now over the years.
No, right, okay.
And I've not seen it for a while now because we did it for Commentary Club for our Valentine's Day special about 2 or 3 years ago.
Romance is not dead.
No, it's not. And so I had just put the right amount of break from it. So just it was very fun to go back to. It's a film that does reward you going back to as well.
Cool. All right. Sorry. Cool. Excellent. And we'll move on to you then, Dal. What about you?
Oh yeah. I love this film. I love how wickedly dark the whole premise is. Everything from start to absolute finish. The ending of the film itself, I just love that. It's just such a nice sort of it's great. I love it. Brilliant. So wicked. So yeah, it gets my thumbs up all the time. There's the humour in it as well. Just lovely. Excellent watch.
Excellent. Brilliant. Well, for me, this is my second watch. I think my second or third watch. And yeah, I love it. I think it's a crazy movie. It's one that you know, they often say that horrible phrase, subverts expectations.
Yeah.
I hate that phrase. Really hate that phrase. But this is a film that really does earn it. Because you're sort of sitting there going, what is this? Some kind of mad Ken Loach sort of kitchen sink depressing go out of, Kez goes to the fucking camper van site or something. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hang on. This has taken a bit of a turn. And after that, it's just off to the races. I love it. I love it so much. So it's a big thumbs up for me. So I think it's, generally speaking, thumbs up for everyone. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, then we'll get into the spoiler zone to have a chat about it. So here we go. Hit some random soundbar buttons. Play that funky music.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
Cobra!
Shut up, Wesley.
There you go. I'm not going to wait. Just go straight into it. Shut up, Wesley. There you go.
Shut up, Wesley.
So we're in the spoiler zone. If you don't want to hear anything about this film, then by all means, go pause the podcast, go watch the film. It's on Film 4 for a little while, and then it'll be on the BFI player and also Mubi, I believe. But it won't be on Channel 4 for much longer. I'm sure there's other places you can find it, cinema equidistant, if you like. So okay, then let's get on with it. I mean, I guess it's going to keep coming back to you, Elton, because you're the one watching this fresh-faced, if you know what I mean. So what were you expecting from this?
I had no idea. A lot of these films I go into blind, like the week before with the Bubba Tep.
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I can remember the name. Sorry.
Well, you didn't like it last time anyway, did you?
No.
It's okay. We've forgiven you. It's fine.
I tend to try and go in blind with these movies and try and keep it like that. Sometimes I have a little poke on IMDb as I'm going through it, or just before, just to get a taster. Especially if it's like a horror, just to like dilute that scary stuff. And but this was. I've got some time free. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get my homework done fairly early-ish. Sat down. I flipping loved it. It's got the right tone for me. I don't know what it was. It just had a homely feel that really resonated with me so well. Maybe a cliche thing to say, but yeah, that's how I imagine all caravanners would be as well. The bastards.
There's the sound
serial killers.
Yeah.
There's the sound of a man who's been stuck behind one too many camper vans on the A303.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But it's the dark humor used in it. It just spoke to me. I loved it, and then it got silly. You know, that moment where she's writing like a Dear John letter with the big novelty pencil. You know, so stupid. But by that, it's earned that silliness. It really has worked its way up to that point. But it's dark. It takes real morbid turns, and it keeps you thinking about what's actually going to happen. Are they really mental, and are they going to go on? Are they doing this for a reason? Are they taking on the lives of the other people that they are dispatching?
Yeah.
And I think this film keeps you guessing all the way through, which is really nice and novel nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a film that signposts its final destination.
No, not one bit. I don't think it's a film that you can really guess where it's going or what it's doing.
No.
It's more of a film that you've joined along for the ride, and you're quite happy to find out where it is because you don't know where that's going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, what did you think of the... Actually, this is a question for all of you. What did you think of the mother? Never let him see you do number twos, Tina.
Yeah.
It's a woman's sanctuary.
Very controlling.
Because what I was going to ask, sorry, I've just stuck a biscuit in my mouth. Sorry. That's very unpodcasty. Sorry.
I had some red velvet cake sticking out of my mouth earlier on. So, yeah.
Is that what you call it?
As well as one or two other things. Let's not go there. Hey, got to get the rent somehow.
Yeah, got to pay me way. No, I was going
to... The power be on those cheeks. Anyway.
No, what I was going to say was, with the mother, you get this sense that she's the controlling force behind it all. How much do you think how Tina acts going forward as she eventually descends into becoming a serial killer is because she's taking it out on other people because of her mum, and how much do you reckon it's because of how she's fallen for Chris and she just wants to be accepted by him? That's a big question.
Well, it's a very powerful dynamic. I mean, it's one of the things that watching again this time, it's kind of what I appreciate is the subtlety in the sort of dynamics of the relationships.
Mm.
And you do get the impression that she's never had any freedom. But more at the point though, everything's probably always been her fault.
Yeah.
And so she's been that overloaded with guilt. When it comes to actually killing people, she just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And it is like complete freedom. Well, why not? Sod it. Because she's so enamored by Chris. And it's just kind of, oh, you can do this. Oh, this is amazing. And she doesn't feel bad about it because she felt bad about everything fucking else in her life.
Yeah. Darren, I can hear some descending voices coming out.
No, it's very much in line with what Jim says there, although I would say it's kind of learned behaviour from her mother. Because you see when she does the murder, when she actually kills the girl, it's because she's paid attention to Chris, right?
Right.
So the parallels here is the mother does what she does, manipulates the situation, tries to do what she does because she thinks she's losing her daughter, which makes her automatically jealous of Chris, which is exactly how Alice, Lowe's character,
Tina.
is it Tina? I say Tina. How she reacts when somebody, the girls, comes on and kisses Chris. That's like, oh, hello, no, hold on, this is wrong. And then she goes and she does something about it, and she doesn't care because she gets back. And this is sort of behaviour she's kind of picked up from her mum, I think, personally, because a mum is only happy when she's got what she wants, and she will do, she'll do underhanded stuff to get what it is she thinks she's losing to keep it.
Speaking of underhanded stuff, I love that shot of the mum at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying out how she's going to look.
Yep.
Out.
When she knows her daughter's on the way back. Or there's what's that bit where she's sat there in bed or something, and then it's kind of like as if she's fed up with waiting for her daughter now. She just does not care. That's it. She's over it and kind of moves on. Yeah.
Do you think it's a case of the mother wants to be the only person in her daughter's life?
Yeah, it's all about control. That's what this is about, where her mum's concerned. And because the daughter has kind of broken the spell, she hasn't got very much patience with it. She keeps it up for a while, but it's like once the mum loses interest, that's it. It's completely lost. She doesn't care anymore about her daughter.
Yeah, I thought the mum's actions were all based around that comedically terrible moment with the dog and the knit needles.
Oh God,
that is hilarious.
In fact, there's probably a bigger discussion to be had about dark humour, isn't there, really, than anything else?
Can I just say, by the way, after watching that, I'm now turning all the forks up the other way in the dishwasher. So I'm like, oh, what if somebody trips over and goes face first into that? Oh, man. Until you realise that actually the handles on the forks are quite thin. So it's like, well, they're fucked either way, Darren. It's either a slow, painful death or a quick one. What do you want to give them?
I think you can also tell how restrictive the mother's been. Because of the knitting needles, and Tina is clearly knitting a lot, probably not going out a lot, and so she's trying other stuff to the point where she's knitted her own sexy underwear. It's just...
Oh, fuck, I didn't realise that. I thought she'd bought it.
No, I think she knitted that herself.
She knitted that, yeah.
She knitted it.
See, I only clocked onto that at the end of the movie. It was like, oh shit, she knitted them. Christ.
Yep.
It's,
Sexy crotchless knitted home knit pants.
Did you notice something
Just
else
thinking
about
you,
the mother?
Darren.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you. Cheers.
You could definitely see the fanny in that.
Oh yeah. It's like herpes. It just comes back when you least expect it, doesn't it? It's stuff like this.
never let an insult go to waste if you can do it.
No,
Oh,
why
God.
not? Why not?
Yeah, you could definitely see the fanny. This
Yeah,
is my vagina.
So, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted by Fanny was, did you notice how her mum was actually a lot fitter than she pretended to be?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
As she could get when the daughter's now there, she's walking around the house normally, especially when she gets up from the floor and she's like dusts herself down and then fucks off. You know,
Cup of tea.
Yeah, cup of tea.
Yeah, because she's got the busted arm, but that doesn't stop her from even that. It's just like, nah.
But is it busted though?
No, that's
Or is
it.
this just another manipulation?
It's a prop, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when we first meet them and she's doing that terrible wailing over the dog.
Mm.
And by the first thing, oh, this is terrible. But about halfway down the film, you start thinking, you're just putting that on, wasn't she? Because Tina was going out to meet Chris.
Yep.
Mm.
I thought, who's doing that Mongolian throat singing?
Yeah. Oh,
Is this that kind of film? Okay, fine.
yeah. By the way, I have to say, when I was watching this time around, all I could think of was your reaction, Dal, because you have a very much a right and wrong and doing things against people who take against, and that bloke throwing all the shit down. Everyone who died deserves it. When Chris people who deserve it, I'm like, oh my God. This
was
one day.
This kind of went the other way, because I've got to say I didn't like the character of Chris at all.
Oh no,
no, not from the fact that he was badly played. He wasn't really well acted, right? And that's why I hated him, because it was really well played, right? So I didn't like him from the point of view of I could see what he was doing and the selfishness in everything he does.
Oh God, yeah.
Right, even down to when Alice Lowe's character Tina kills someone, and he's like, "No, you're doing it wrong."
Yeah.
No, this is wrong. You could have got caught. You're not supposed to do it like that.
And
it's
you
as
can't
if
willy-nilly run people over.
It's almost, again, control. It's almost as if she's muscling in on his territory, and he's not happy with that, because it's his thing, the killing. It's it's like, and she's taking that from him.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that; it's his thing, isn't it? It's his it's his own little level of control, and then it's him pushing things further with her as well, that he can get away with this and just gaslight her and then go off and do his own thing. Because once he murders that guy from on the tram, he murders that guy on the tram, it's like he keeps pushing it further and further and further. So is the movie's theme really about control and abuse of control? Because once she starts to see him murder someone, or finds out that someone's murdered someone, that's when he turns to, becoming an absolute dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were over there. You were over there making a cup of tea, were you?
No. Sorry, I just moved slightly. He just seems to be, because it's like when she sees him with somebody else, she gets really jealous, and she's a bit hurt by the fact that he's done that, right?
Yeah.
But when there's a suggestion that she might go and do it, he's like, "Oh yeah, why don't you? You go ahead."
Yeah.
He doesn't really care
No.
about her.
Does he not care, or does he not think that she would?
Mm.
Because
No,
I think there's a
don't think
difference
he-
between not caring and you do what you want, thinking that she won't do that anyway because he said, "Oh, go do it. I've given you free reign, so now you won't."
Yeah.
I think I don't think he cares that much. He sees her as someone that he can teach stuff to, right? He doesn't view her on the same level of intelligence as her, for one thing, right? This is it. He looks down on her.
Yeah.
And that's it. So this is why she's with him, because it's the whole narcissism thing. You know, I'm better than you. It's always your fault, not mine.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I'm never at fault, but you are.
Mm.
Right? So, yeah, typical case with him.
Yeah.
You know, so he sees her as not on his level. He sees her as somebody on a lower rung, somebody that he can boss around. Much like the mum, she just keeps falling in with these characters, which is why, as the film develops, just the actual ending of this is beautiful from the point of view of in the end, it's Tina who wins ultimately.
Well, is it her winning, or is it her just taking control of her life and?
Yeah, I don't want to do this jump off thing, but she goes with him up there because I think she knows what's coming, and it's an easy way of getting her out of his life, because I think she realizes that if this is the thing with people like that, you have to let them dump you. Otherwise, it's a lot harder to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I think she realizes that, and this is she goes with him to do what they were going to do, and it's like, I don't think so at the last minute. You know, it's that I just love that, where he's like he thinks they're both going to their death, and it's not that way at all.
No,
I think
like, peace out, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I think it's her finding her true self.
Yeah,
so she's been stuck with her mum all this time. Then she finds Chris, gets involved with him, and he's interested. And as soon as he has a go at her about murdering it incorrectly, then you see her snap out of her little make-believe land of, well, you know, having a go at... Sorry, it's been about 2 weeks since I've seen this movie. But she really bites at him about going around and being a psycho killer and a serial killer. It's as if she's really awake to that. She realizes what they're doing, but she acts as if she's dumb to it and just going along for the ride. And then you see him snogging the girls, and she doesn't like that, so she tries to encroach on his territory by killing. And then she encroaches on his land by trying to get off with the guy, the inventor guy. And it's all about slowly trying to find yourself. And I think when she gets onto the top of that viaduct and they take that step, that is her. And she's like, no, I'm in control now. I want to do what I want to do. And that is her moment. And that is her finding herself.
Yeah.
Cool. Jim, you...
Yeah, I think the turning point, I don't think so much is when she starts killing.
Mm.
I think the turning point is when he meets that inventor guy. And
Yeah.
suddenly the whole thing of, oh, I'm away in a caravan, I'm a writer,
Mm.
and you're going to be my muse. That fantasy just, I'm not interested. And he's spinning this other lie how he used to be in plastics, and he's going to go into business doing carapods with this guy. And that's his new fantasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These narcissistic personalities, they're full of these, you know, how they're going to conquer the world. And as soon as another one comes along, it's going, okay, bang, not interested really.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just maintaining a fix.
And she picks up on that, which is why you have that. That's it. He said,
Yeah.
see.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you think that they take little pieces of the people that they've killed, like little tidbits from them? So the caravan couple, the guy was writing a book, and they were married. And then I think in the next scene you see, oh yeah, my husband's writing a book. It's as if like they're trying to take over that life. And I don't know whether they do that with the inventor as well or what. But I don't know what you guys think.
Well, the thing is, it's implied actually with the slob guy at the tram museum. I mean, he kills the guy and pretends an accident, but she actually goes and nicks the gong as a trophy.
Yeah.
But then later, when he does kill the writer, because he alludes to later about the book he's supposedly writing, he's just reeled off the same blurb the guy originally gave him about writing a book about the ley lines. And I think there is something to that. He's very much like a magpie personality.
Yeah. I was going to say with him, the only bit I think that's actually true with him is the bit where he basically does that little run off about like, trees won't stab you in the back, trees won't do this, trees won't kick you out of work, and then he kind of goes off. He's like, the tree won't steal things and then put them in somewhere else, and won't bully you in a way that means you have to leave work. And I'm wondering whether or not Chris's murderousness, for want of a better term, is actually just him trying to establish himself as a sort of like proper, for the want of a better term, an alpha male, meeting up to masculinity as he sees it and not be bullied anymore. So when he sees people being dicks, he feels like he's doing the right thing, and he's doing it in a way that's allowing him to lash out but not get into trouble. Does that make sense? Rather than actually get into a proper fight, he's just doing things. He's just doing things because he thinks people are dicks and he hates being belittled, and it's all just coming out.
Or defending Tina's honour when the guy was talking about picking up the poop. I hope you could have picked that up. And the only reason he's basically stoves his head in with a big stick is because I think he's trying to defend her.
Well, it's the bully thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
He reacts badly to bullies, but like I say, it goes back to that thing where he goes about like, I'm actually looking at the quote now. That tree won't involve itself in low level bullying that means you have to leave work.
It's a phrase that speaks volumes, isn't it?
It is. It's a phrase that comes up and you suddenly go, oh, okay. There's what's going on.
Because it does come out and say he's not on sabbatical. He's been made redundant.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's no longer on sabbatical and doing a book. He's actually just being kicked out of the work. And it's whether or not the whole thing is just him reacting to the bullies of the world, and it's gone too far. And that's why I go back to my original question about, is she joining in to impress him, or is she doing it because she's repressed like Chris is by her mum?
I think there's a bit of both there.
Well, I think with the dog poop guy, when he starts on, did he touch you? I think that starts out as a way of intimidating him into kind of, look, it's our word against yours, fuck off. But it kind of escalates to the point of, no, I think we'll just smash your head in.
Pull that to the National Trust. But, I mean, how do you guys feel about the characters? Because, I mean, obviously, if you met either of them in real life, you'd probably give them a wide berth, I think it's safe to say. But the movie tries to make you sympathize with them when actually they are the major villains of the movie. I'm just wondering how you felt about it, because we're all sitting there going, oh yeah, so Chris beats this person up, knocks his head in and nicks his camera, and she steals the dog and all this sort of thing. And we're having a laugh about it. But I think that's part of the genius of the movie, that the actual villains have suddenly become the heroes. Or as I saw in one review, it being called, it's natural born killers for Radio 4 listeners.
I had sympathy for Tina, definitely,
Mm.
because I went into the film and I didn't know Chris was going to be that sadistic and
No.
well, bent out of shape.
Yeah.
And I think because we are supposed to be on this journey with Tina and seeing it from her perspective, so I had sympathy for her because she was only trying to do right by her new boyfriend and try to get away from her mother and try to impress and try to keep her head together. So I have sympathies for that. Obviously, I don't indulge in murder or anything like that. I don't agree with that, but
Don't you, Elton? Don't you?
not that I admit to anyway. No,
On this podcast.
on this podcast, allegedly as well. But I had no sympathy for Chris because I think once you know he's a wrong 'un, he's a proper wrong 'un.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel really sorry for the inventor as well because he's clearly got tied up. He's so klutzy as well, the way that he's trying to pitch his thing and it starts rolling down the hill. It's like, oh, silly me, oopsie daisies.
Yeah, I've got to just say, that was the biggest laugh for me when she gets fucked off with him and she just basically picks him up by the handles and just rolls him off the cliff.
Done with you. There we go.
It was one of those moments of just like, it was just, I completely went, oh, hang on. And I completely forgot about it. And then when she gets him like a fucking baby's carriage, and all you can hear him is like, oh, what's going on, boy? He just disappears over the cliff. Oh, it had me in fits. I had to stop watching for a minute. I had to pause it. That was a proper Spider-Man turn off the dark kind of moment for me. I just do no.
And what gets me is when Chris comes out and he's like, Martin.
Yeah, just shouting over the cliff at the ruined remains of that carapod at the bottom of a fucking 100-foot cliff. Martin. Anyway, sorry. Did anyone else? Sorry, I jumped in there, Elton. You were going to carry on with the.
No, I think I've just said it about.
Oh.
I see it from everything from Tina, so I do have sympathy for her, and I kind of want her to win towards the end as well.
Right.
But yeah, it is a little while because Chris seems so normal for her in the very beginning. It's just a boyfriend. That's how you're lulled into it. And you don't think of anything until it all starts going terribly wrong later on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And how did we feel about the? I've always dreamed it would be like this. Sex scene with him just taking hundreds of photos of her ass while she's face down in a box of pick and mix.
Well, see now that camera that was stolen, wasn't it? So
Yes, yeah.
she went into the photos and went, that's not my ass. Wait, how did you get this photo? Did you go off with them? So there's something not quite right in her understanding what's going on there.
That's not my vagina, I think she actually. Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's a whole mental health issue there with like, does she understand all the consequences of everything that's going on? But then it also, you've got to ask another question, which is, would he have done that? Would he have had sex with her in the way that he did, taking the photos the way that he did, if he hadn't looked at the photos already?
Right. Okay. Kind of
Interesting.
taking
Probably
on
not.
that.
I think again it's his magpie personality of the
Mm.
because he looked through that. He nicked the camera because, well, why not?
Mm.
And then we looked through the photos. He thought, oh no, oh nice one.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, which is why it's once it's discovered and she turns up again in the knitted underwear later on. She just pretends to be asleep and goes to bed. Like, I've got the ump. I'm trying to think what else to ask. Really, it's always the way with comedies, isn't it? It's just like you got. I'm trying to avoid doing the there's endless quote things, but you can't help it. You can't. I can't help it.
No.
What was the significance of her going off with the hippies at that drumming festival? Because I wasn't entirely sure, because it's that Ben Wheatley thing of suddenly there's a hippie, trippy, dippy, drugsy moment, like within the Earth and in Kill List, and you go, is this really happening? Isn't this happening? Where she goes off and she appears to go off and just dance with the guys, the hippies on the mall.
Well, it's her finding. It's Chris has got this bloke that he's big pals with now, and she's of course frustrated, and she just wanders off and finds her own thing. And you're just like, finds let's see, it's the doing the dancing and stuff like, and going crazy, just feeling free.
Yeah,
That's probably got even more to do with her wanting to find independence.
Yeah,
from Chris. In the end,
yeah,
is that because she goes out and she finds something that she enjoyed doing, and it didn't have Chris involved.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like breaking the illusion.
Yeah, it's the start of it, isn't it? It's the start of the rot.
I don't need you to do this.
Yeah,
it's that.
Okay, here's a question for you. So the movie ends. Chris is dead at the bottom of an aqueduct, 200 feet below her, and the caravan's on fire. Poor old Carapod inventor is at the bottom of the shell cliff. What happens next? Does she go back to her parent? Does she go back to her mum? Does she carry on a life of murder, or does she what? What do you reckon?
I think she goes home to her mum, but if her mum tries her old shit again, mum might find that fall's going to happen for real.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I mean, will the police catch up with her though? That's the other thing.
Yeah,
depends how good the CCTV is in the pencil museum, I think.
The pencil museum. Oh God. What about you, Dale? What do you reckon?
I'd like to think that she just fucks off on the road by herself.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that, and goes and has some sort of crazy fucking adventure.
Okay. Elton?
Either finds the people killing all the chickens.
Oh yeah.
Because I couldn't work out whether that was a dream or whether that was her wanting to be part of them or what.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's just like, what was that actually about? I mean, because it was just like she sort of went over there and then they were killing the chickens, and then next thing you know, they've been taken away by the police. And yeah, sorry.
Because you had the missing husband and wife at that point as well. I'm just wondering whether that was her moment in which she could have got away with everything and just disappeared with like a hippie communion.
Yeah.
But Chris killed the other thing, and that turned her attention back to him.
Yeah.
And drew her back.
Yeah.
So I'm just... Maybe at the very end she disappears back to her mother's, or just finds another communion and just hitches with them. And she... Like you say, Jim, with Chris having like the magpie kind of brain, I think she's like that. She's kind of attaches her to herself to like a safe space, and her mum and the house have been a safe place for her because she doesn't know anything else until she steps out of her comfort zone and finds Chris, and then that's safe until it isn't, and then so I think she'll either go to a communion or back to her mum's.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah, so I think she will just go back to her mum's, but her mum's on fucking thin ice.
Yeah, I'd like to think she just goes off on an endless murder spree of people that she just doesn't like. I think it's just gonna.
But would she though?
Well, because she's proven now. I think she's got a taste for it, because there was the thing about running over the jogger just for the fuck of it, and then
to impress Chris.
Yeah, and then there was just randomly pushing Carapod bloke off the cliff
to annoy Chris.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
And she killed the girl because of Chris.
And then she killed Chris.
Yeah. So I don't think she'd go off murdering. I don't think that's in her. She was there murdering with him because it was with him.
Okay. I'm just wondering whether or not she just takes that as the kind of the starting point, really.
Right.
But, cool. Has anyone got anything they would like to bring up before we just descend into quotes? Because I'm looking at the ones on IMDb, and it does make me laugh. I was just admiring your artwork, Carol. It's fantastic. I don't want anyone in my room. It's my private sanctum. Oh, no one's your private sanctum, Mum. So, God. Anyway, sorry. Has anyone got anything they'd like to add or bring up?
I don't know. The problem is, I watched this about 2 weeks ago.
Well, that is part of the problem. I was going to say, I'm afraid, I'm sorry about that. Because it was just, I couldn't avoid it.
No, I understand. I haven't watched it in the meantime. Normally I would try and watch it again, but I've been quite busy. So, yeah, it's
fine.
It's something that I do want to go back on, because I think this definitely warrants repeat viewings. And I think people who haven't seen this, who are just listening to us natter on about it, definitely go and watch this, because it is one of them little hidden gems. I think this is utterly brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Darren, any last thoughts?
Well, just one thing, just to back up the whole thing about going off on a murder spree.
Yeah,
they do say that once you've done your first murder, the second one becomes easier.
Right.
So there's not so much doubt or anything else involved. It kind of breaks something within you, and you're able to do it again, but so much more easier this time.
Oh. Right.
Yeah. So there you go.
Speaking from experience?
I was about to say that.
Why would you say that, Elton?
Don't look at me like that.
Don't you look at me in that tone of voice. Yeah.
Nice. Okie dokie. Jim, any last thoughts?
See the Pencil Museum and die.
Yeah, the Pencil Museum. That was a highlight for me.
Which is a real place. It is a real place.
Was that in the Lake District by any chance? Because I think
it is.
I had a chance to go there.
What, the Pencil Museum?
Yeah, it's quite
that was. Yes. Because
there's actually a really good stone circle called Castle Rig near the Pencil Museum, and I strongly advise swimming the Pencil Museum, go to the stone circle because it's a cracker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were due to go there, and instead I think we went to some James Bond exhibition or something. But the Pencil Museum was on the cards. The Pencil, yeah. This was in the Lake District. Yeah, That's right.
I thought it was bad enough when I went to the Crystal Caverns in Australia, just outside of Mudgee.
Oh, I can beat you on this.
Go on.
I went to a salt and pepper museum in Spain.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. There are about 1 million different types of salt and pepper shaker.
Did you enjoy it?
It was pretty good, actually, yeah.
Did you send them your condiments? No?
Oh, my God.
Fucking hell.
A salt and pepper shaker museum.
Yeah.
I
think
so-
it's
no
closed
words.
down now, though.
I was going to say, was this because you were there was too much excitement?
We had taken a trip. I think just driving up into the mountains, and we came along this little town. Didn't know what was there. Just having a look around, and we saw like salt and pepper museum, and we was like, "Shall we?" And we all looked at each other, and went, "Yeah, why not?" And we were the only people in there.
This was one of those filler days, wasn't it? Of your holiday.
I think so, yeah, but yeah.
Oh my God!
I thought Pepper Museum.
I thought it was bad when. Well, I thought it was bad when I drove for 3 hours outside of Australia to go to the Crystal Caverns, only to find out that it was basically put on 2 mining helmets. Me and Carol put on mining helmets. We thought we were actually going into a mine to look at all these crystals, and it turned out to be chicken wire and papier mâché with a couple of gems in some glass boxes at the back of the shop. We just stood there going, "What? What on earth am I looking at here? Why have I driven 4 hours to go to a fucking shop, wear a stupid pith helmet with lights on it?" And then it's like, "Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah, that was it. That was exactly the way I felt when I found myself at an Only Fools and Horses convention. Look, I'm not joking. That it was kind of Darren. Who are you? What have you become? What are we doing here?
Right.
Don't get me started on the 2 blokes who did the rap on stage. That was just like
Fools and Horses rap.
You've never seen an audience not knowing what to actually do with themselves so much. At the end of it, it was like they dum, and then it's just as if somebody's forgotten that you have to applaud out of politeness.
Yeah,
that's what the audience was like. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. If anybody's got any embarrassing, terrible holiday destinations and stories, by all means, send them in. We'll read them out. Why not? Right. Well, I think unless anyone's got anything to add, I think we'll leave it there. Sightseers is, like I say, available for a brief period of time on Channel 4. It will be on the BFI player, and then it will be on Mubi as well. If you want to check it out, I strongly suggest you do. And yeah, it's a funny, dark comedy with an edge. So we'll leave it there. And we got to do a phrase that pays before we get to the end, because we've been slacking on that for a while. And I think we just got to go for crotchless knitted pants. We've got to go for crotchless knitted pants.
It's the way that she lays them out and then tugs on them in like a mysterious way, as if like to open that little bit ever so slightly more.
Pull the gusset apart. It's just that parting of the gusset bit that just does me. Oh God!
Knit 1, pearl 2. Yeah, there we go.
Knit 1, pearl necklace.
Knit 1, pearl necklace. There's the phrase.
There you go. Knit 1, pearl necklace. That's the phrase. The phrase that pays. Knit 1, pearl necklace.
Yep.
Right. Well, before we go on to Pimp's Corner, and then I spend a long, lonely night trying to edit this thing together into something coherent. Darren, it's your pick.
Indeed. So last week, we were going to watch a terrible film.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, you backed out of that one and gave us the Sightseers.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, it falls upon me to make us watch the shit film.
Yes.
Okay. Or what is historically a shit film. I'm pretty sure the critics are going to be right on this one. So now, what was that thing I was going to read out? Okay, so I'll read this out. Hubris, excessive pride or self-confidence. I think that kind of sums up the initial push on this one.
Okay.
What can I say about this? The person who was the main driving force behind this film really wanted to get back into acting because they hadn't done it for a number of years.
Uh-oh.
So they wrote the screenplay for this, they wrote the music for it, and they starred in the lead role. And it was halfway through, and I've watched the interview where he went, you know what? I was really excited about this to begin with, and I got halfway through making it and thought, what have I done? How did I get myself into this?
It's not Star Trek 5, is it?
It's not what?
Star Trek 5 again, is it?
No. This is something from the deep, dark depths of the 80s.
Oh, God.
It did spawn a hit single, a very famous hit single, because the guy that's the lead person in this is actually a very famous individual.
Oh my God, I think I know what this is.
Yep. I think, Jim, you're probably the only person that's actually seen this. Right? Now, this has become...
I started watching it and we turned it off. I couldn't bear it.
Oh, no.
Okay. Are you ready for this, guys? Are you ready for this? Right. You sat down. Do you have a nice strong drink in your hand? Right. Okay. This week, we are going to watch Paul McCartney's Give My Regards to Broad Street.
Fuck you.
Do you know what I thought we were going to get this week? That everybody else had not seen it and Elton had actually watched this one. He'd be the only one out of the four of us that's actually seen it. But you have?
You absolute cunt.
Indeed.
I have seen the first 10 minutes of it. I turned it off as well.
Well,
it's very 80s. He is the very
it's very
first
shit.
scene, the car that he drives is very 80s in the very first scene.
Yeah, it's like
This.
it's what can I say? It's like as if ZZ Top appeared in Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great choice.
Okay. Confession time. I like the Beatles. I like John Lennon, and I like the output of John Lennon. But everything Wings and
Oblada. Life goes on. What?
Yeah, everything Wings related and Paul McCartney solo efforts related.
Wings will eat you alive.
Right off. From simply having a wonderful Christmas time to the frog chorus, that gooner twat can just go suck on a grenade. I really do not like Paul McCartney.
Well, you're going to love the fact you're going to be able to watch him in full HD. Because that's what the wonderful people who put this online have done for us. Because this is all over YouTube. This is.
I genuinely hate you. I've no words. The idea of staring at that moon-faced gonk for fucking 90 plus minutes while he has the expression of a man who's trying to do calculus in his head while sitting on a fucking pineapple really does not fill me with joy at all.
Well, you'll be happy to know, right? I mean, this has got quite a cast in it, this film, right?
Yes,
From Ralph Richardson, right, all the way to Dr. Leg from EastEnders. Hello? Are we still on? Hello? Hello? Has Google shut up? Hello? What?
No, I'm literally trying to rapidly read a book. I'm getting AI to sum it up, which is how to hate someone to death across the
I'm going to kill you with mind bullets.
Yes. I genuinely just no. Fuck you.
So, yeah, you'll be glad to know that this actually put Paul McCartney off of doing any other films.
I always thought you were going to say put him out of business, in which case
No.
there's no bad outcome on that.
No. This was the film also that famously Robert Ebert said, don't watch the movie, just buy the soundtrack.
Oh, God, I'm looking at the fucking banner poster that I've got to put on Facebook, and even that irritates me. Oh, he's just such a... Oh, do
you know that there is one poster that sums up, I think.
Personality. Oh.
It's that one where you've got Paul McCartney in the bottom right-hand corner just looking like he's just trying to wonder, where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. While there's a really bad outline of a man with a really tiny head and very too long legs carrying a blue box with... Oh, my fucking God. Oh man, I really can't tell you how much. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much I am really taking against this film just by looking at the cocking poster. I'm feeling the rage. I really am.
So after this, we'll have to do a follow-up of Head.
Sorry, no thanks, Elton.
Well, I know we need to relieve tensions a bit, but Elton, that's just a bit strong.
The monkeys. The monkeys.
Monkey's Head? What?
Oh, God. No, the monkeys. They did a film called Head.
No, we don't. We don't have to. No, we don't. We don't. We really don't. And I pulled the fucking, what was it, Wicker Man off the schedule, you assholes.
The Wicker Man is an absolute work of fucking art compared to this.
Oh, Jesus Christ! So
we haven't had we haven't had something this bad in a while. So we have to do it to appease the gods of the internet. You know that this was the agreement. Oh shit! Did I say this live on? Fuck! I'm supposed to. Can you cut that out?
Whom on the blood must be appeased.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet. Christmas. Oh, I genuinely hate you, Mr. Barner, right now. I genuinely, I can't even begin to put into words the absolute loathing I have of you right now for the choice that we are.
Do you know what the best thing about this film is? Right, there's nearly 2 hours of it.
What?
It's an hour and 48 minutes.
Holy crap! I didn't realise that.
Oh well, too late now, Elton. That ship sailed, Mister. Isn't this going to be funny? I only watched 10 minutes of it.
Yeah. So imagine how you felt in that 10 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Times that by, I don't know, 14, 15, something like that. And there you've got your full film.
Motherfucker. Right. If anybody wants me, I'll be in the Angry Dome.
Do you know what? I think we should have saved this for one of those charity things we do where we're just all sitting there watching it, suffering for a good cause.
We might have to watch it again to pay for the funeral for Lee after his heart attack.
No, my funeral, you mean?
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give my regards to Broad Street. Fuck me. It's on YouTube. You just watch it.
I'll put up the link on Facebook, shall I?
Yeah, you can do what you fucking like. You can take the blame for this cunting nonsense. I would also like to just say also that we are going to be bombarded with adverts every 15 minutes because it's on YouTube. just to really shit in my biscuits. So
yeah, there's quite a few Beatles albums adverts by the looks of it as well. So, you know.
I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I hate you right now so much.
Just install uBlock.
Only if it takes the fucking lot off. Only if it goes, no, give my regards to Broad Street. You block the credits. Right. Jim, what's happening in the wonderful world of Hypnagoria?
That's a bloody good question. I've just released an episode on Roger Corman's The Pit and the Pendulum, which is part 3 of my series on his Edgar Allan Poe films. I've also just released our commentary on In Bruges.
Nice.
Which was somewhat drunken and a bit sweary and highly medicated.
Midgets.
And later in the week, there'll be a rather creepy ghost story coming out on my reading show. And the first of a new set of commentaries for the Box of Delights to mark its 40th anniversary, as we're doing an episode a week and releasing them on the original transmission dates.
Nice.
So the first one will be out Thursday, the 21st.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And that's all over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Lovely, jubbly. And what about you, Elton?
Talking about Cars Go Round in Circles and Band of Brothers podcast where we're on to the Pacific. Talking about island hopping and beaches that all look the same.
It's almost like they were all filmed on the same beach. Here we are in Japan. Here we are in Iwo Jima. Here we are in Midway.
All exactly the same.
What do you know? Right. And Darren, have you appeared on any other podcasts anywhere?
Well, apparently, I've been on Orcs one.
Have you?
Anne-Marie, the broadcast. Yes.
Right. Over on broadcast.libsyn.com.
Yes. Org just came up to me and went, "Here, speak into this." Oh, okay. Yep, say a Star Trek thing. Okay. Make it so.
That's not a Star Trek thing going okay. That's just a general thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Cool. You can see the fight's gone out of me. It's done. It's done. Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky. Just look my name up. The podcast is on Blue Sky, but don't bother following it. I can't keep two Blue Sky threads running at the same time. My brain just can't handle it. And otherwise, if you want to send any feedback in, send it into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com on the email, or go on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Leave a comment underneath the episode, or you can just drop any old nonsense into the group, because hey, that's what we're all about. Or if you want to leave a question for us, go to the top of the thread, go to the top of the page, look under featured, and post a question under asking for trouble. So that's that. That's everything. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Alton.
No problem.
No bother.
Cool. And thank you all for listening. Thank you for sticking with us after we sort of dropped out for a couple of weeks. And apologies in advance for next week. It will be just me screaming in abject horror, anger, terror, and anguish as we review Give My Regards to Broad Street. So until then, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
I fucking hate you, Darren.
That keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.